To Daily News Analysis by Tathastu ICS. I am Manisha Armugam, here to discuss the Hindu newspaper for the day 28th February 2026. You will get this PDF in the description box, as well as you can join our Telegram channel for the regular updates by scanning this QR code. Okay. So in today's newspaper we are having very minimal topics. Okay, we will see one by one. So the first one is about the new GDP series. So MOSPI, okay, so Ministry of Statistical Program and Implementation, okay, they have revised the base year for GDP series, and also we have in recent times we would be able to see the base year for CPA have also been changed. Okay, so we are going to just see what are all the major changes that have been done in this. Okay, so it will be important for us in the GS3 paper for the prelims perspective, and also in mains we can expect a question like how J. Hussain. So we can expect a question like how it is necessary and important for us to revise the base years and the alterations that have to be carried on timely to track the actual growth and the actual outcome of our Indian economy. Okay, so based on that we can expect a question, but mostly it is for prelims oriented. Okay, so the statement related questions. The second one is about international laws not dead. So this editorial, this article is about like a kind of a support for those questions which have arisen, like how international laws have been weakened, have they have loosened their hold right now or not, because the whole global trend is going like if everywhere there is a tension, everywhere there is a root for any war or something, right? So good evening everyone. So that case we are just going to see nothing much, we are just going to have a slight understanding about the article. We are not going into much because the editorial is basically completely on the opinion, a personal opinion. So we are just going to see how like how international laws are still withstanding. Okay, so for GS2 IR perspective, we will be just having a glance on this. And the third one is about the indigenous designed and built helicopter. Okay, so the Prachand that we will be seeing. Okay, the features alone we will be seeing because nothing much in the newspaper. Okay, so the science and technology part, okay, in the defense technology, it is important for us. This America is right. That was obviously, like, see, as a political news it is not important for us, but as a India, like how we are going to take a stand, because see, Iran is also one of our major one of our biggest country for us. Okay, and also when it comes to America and Israel, you know, we have a lot of defense technology ties up and many other things, right? So it is important to know about the current situation which is happening with Iran, America and everything, not politically, but how India will be starting, like whether India will be giving the aid to Iran, or will that be affecting because of the America's dominance over India. So all based on that things we have to see, Hussain, otherwise not the who is having that power hegemony and everything, that is not needed for. Okay, then the fourth one is about, okay, the Prachant is basically important for us in the GS3 paper for the science and tech, okay, Atmanirbhar, and also the fourth one is about again indigenous designed and built vessel, okay, so anti-submarine INS Anjad. Okay, so based on this we are going to discuss for the day. Okay, now, so again it is important for us in the GS3 paper. Okay, and if there is any other thing, if you see if there is anything else important in the newspaper, not much. Okay, these are the things that is directly affecting in our UPSC perspective. Moving on, before going into the session, I would like to introduce certain courses from Tathastu. One is BA plus UPSC program. If you are pursuing 12th and if you want to become a IAS officer or IPS officer who at a very early stage, and if you want to start it with a proper guidance with curating for next 3 years, you can opt for BA plus UPSC program, where you will be getting proper guidance for 3 years. Along with your graduation, you will be focused for your specifically for UPSC program. Okay, then also our PBA plus banking. Okay, we are not only in the humanities side, we have moved moved towards the financial side also, like the banking exams. So we are getting prepared for BBA plus banking exams. You can opt for Tathastu if you are willing to do. Okay. And the paths are the mentorship. If you have already studied your courses or the syllabus, if you have completed and still you are not having the hold that you want a guide or a beacon for your preparation, you can opt for Pathsarthi mentorship, where our mentors will be dedicated to you and they will be helping out to bring the best out of your UPSC preparation. Okay. And also a PSR optional is going to start from 28th April. If you are very much interested in the political science and also international relations, you can opt for our PSR optional. Okay. Let's get into the session. The first one, the new GDP series. Okay. So the MOSPI have announced that there will be a new, there is a changes in the GDP base year also. Earlier it was 2011 to 2012, but now we have changed it to 2022 to 23. What happened with CPI? The same thing is happening here, because the datas that were used in the 2011 to 12, it was like a way, like a decade old, right? So now taking into the consideration of all other possibilities and the updated product list, product range, and also the inflation into the consideration, now we have shifted the base year from 2011-12 to 2022 to 23. This is the major news from this. Okay. So in this, in the first, have you all remember, like we have read about the CPI when we were reading about the CPI and also the GDP growth when it have been announced during the budget period. You know, at that time, first estimate advance was given. Oh, can you please anyone tell me what is the percentage that have been told at that time? What was the percentage was told as economic growth for 2025 to 26? Okay, no issues. So in the first economic so in the first economic advance, so we are able to advance estimate, we are able to understand that it was 7.4% with the data of 2011 to 2012. But now we are able to, we derived the exact growth rate, the estimated growth rate is up to 7.6% in the second advance estimates. Okay. So for the financial year 2026 to 27, right. So we are going to have the estimate growth for 7.6, that will be our GDP. The future GDP is going to be like for 2026 to 27, it will be 7.6%. Okay. So the major thing is about the revision is about certain things. One is the base year change that we have talked around, right? So for the inclusive of the new products and the new price ranges and also the inflation taken into the consideration, and apart from that, the weightage of the sectors that has been taken into the consideration. Okay. So now if you see 2011 and 12, in that period the IT sector was booming, right? So after that, now if we see right now the manufacturing sector are booming and we are getting a limited like around 27% of growth rate. Okay. For the 27% of involvement from the tertiary sector. Okay. So the primary sector and also the tertiary sector are having a slight slowdown, but comparative to the manufacturing sector is doing good. Okay. So this is what one of the inferences that we got from this, and apart from that, the real GDP have gone to 7.6% and the nominal GDP have gone for 8.6%, and apart from that we have certain downward revision also. Okay, we will be seeing one by one. So the first thing is about, so the series has revised downward the growth for 2023 to 24. At that time, with the older data of 2011 to 12, we got the inference of 9.2% as an estimate. But now keeping 2022 to 23, the base year, we are able to see that there was a misconception and it was like 7.2% was the actual term. Okay. Then along with that, there was one more upward revised series, which is the growth for 2024 to 25 is about 7.2%. 1%, which we have discussed, like it was around 6.5%. Okay, so the major thing from this article is about, see, there is a slight downward and also there is one upward revision also, where from the last, like 2011 to 2012 data, we are able to understand that 2023-24 growth rate was actually 7.2% and not 9.2%. First thing, that one is the downward, and the second thing is about the revised upward growth, which is 2024 to 25 is 7.1% in the real terms, which is have been underestimated like 6.5. Okay, so it is a positive note where our 2024 to 25 growth was 7.1%. Okay, that was a one good thing. Okay, so the major thing is about base year change. Okay, and you know the reason why we will be changing the base year, right? Because of taking the inflation into the consideration, and also the product bifurcation, and also the product range have been increased. So that's why. Okay, so and the GST invoice have been involved. Okay, it have been added in this GDP series. So the GDP invoice and also the receipts will be taken into the consideration here. Okay, and also the increased product range and also the prices also have been increased. Okay, so this is a major concern. This is the three things that we have to keep in mind for the prelims. Okay. Is real. See, formula is not much needed. Okay, so moving on. International law is not dead, its rules stay resilient. Okay, so this article have been triggered where it has been like the whole global trend is about continuously war, right? So the right now news is like Iran have been attacked by US and Israel. Okay, so there were earlier tensions, but now they have started the attacks. Okay, so the problem here is the whole globe is around like either way Russia-Ukraine war. Okay, and also we have seen in the US Venezuela and US Iran right now, you know, and also Israel Gaza. So all these things are like keep on telling something like these international laws were not able to cope up with the countries to balance the situation, the tensed situation. Okay, so and also apart from that, the things are going around is about the international forums are not able to have a hold on them. Those countries, like every dominant countries are like, I have power and I will be doing whatever I want. So in that case, if people are analyzing that international laws are losing their hold day by day, but this article supports no, still they have the relevance, and international law is a huge word. We cannot go for such a huge word because the UN charter is a small part of the international law. Other than that also there are many like WTO, labor organization. So all these are like kind of international rules only, international law only, and still they are being dominating and they are shaping the whole world. Okay, so this is what the argument that have been proposed in this article. Okay, so nothing too much for us from this, but in the perspective of IR we have to keep that in mind. Okay, so the international laws are very important, and how it is important for the international laws and the forums to be strong to maintain the peace and also the coordination between the global countries. Okay, so in that perspective it is important for us, and nothing much from here. So the question arises, is the international law have been weakened? Are they are losing their hold? Okay, for giving the for having the peace maintenance, are they not losing their relevances? Okay, so that is what the question has been arised. So based on many things. Okay, so the international laws are not being weakened. Okay, the problem here is the about the power dominance. Okay, so the globe are being segregated into the blocks, and now they are going with the power dominance, be it China, be it US, be it Russia. So these kind of dominant powers, what they are trying to do, they are trying to become independent and dominant. Just say how US have withdrawn itself from UN, right? So these kind of things are making the tensions, and not only this Russia, Ukraine, US, Iran. Before that also there were lot of wars like Falcon wars, okay, Gulf, Iraq, and also the many other wars have also been included, but happened, but at that time those have been justified. So how it has been justified, we will be seeing it here. Okay. So the first one is about so the UN Charter, okay, Article 2, subclause of 4 says that there is no country, no country can be like threat or force a other country, okay. So that cannot be done. So that was the first thing. But the exception was like when it comes to self defense, you can attack them or you can force them or some use the force on against them. So that was the exemption. So the earlier wars like Gulf wars, okay, the Iraq. So these wars are like having the exemptions, that is like for self defense we did attack, okay, otherwise we have nothing else. So now these exemptions also losing their relevances because outrightly it is showing that people are going towards more of a power dominance. So the world is right now working on the power dominance only rather than the cooperative existence. Okay. So that is what the major issue here. So, and one more quote here is about the repeated violation of law will make the law dead. Okay. So the article argues basically on this topic where the silence of the law or the repeated violation of the law will not be will make it dead, but the article argues that still they are working on many things. Okay, we will be seeing it. So as we saw, right, so the article 2 subclause 4 of UN Charter, it prohibits the threat or use of force against any other state. Okay, and the second thing is about the exemptions. The exemptions what we have saw, that is self defense, and the second thing, major thing, is about the United Nations Security Council if it have been authorized. Okay, at that time US was a major power, right? So if US convinced UN because of this particular issue for helping them for settling down the internal problems, or also in the case of what was in the case of Iran, when US told that see they are harming the protesters, they are civilians and civil protesters, they are like Iran is attacking those civil protesters and we are going to rescue them, for that we are going into the war, like this kind of a statement was given by US, right? So these kind of certain reasons are being authorized by UNSC are being the exemptions for those wars. Okay, so instead of maintaining the peace, okay, UNSC itself is authorizing the other countries to go. So that was one of the major exemptions, and that was weakening the law of UN. Okay, so the major argument of the article is about only the international law still exists. Okay, it doesn't means they lose their hold, or it doesn't means they have lost their relevance. Still they are existing, and it will be working on for more shaping the world. Okay, the behavior or any other. See, like when it comes to the vaccines, right? WTO was more active, right? And also during the COVID period, and also when it comes to any aid, okay, this major international laws will be there. When it comes to maritime security and many other areas, still international laws are being in the shaping role. Okay. So if you see here, yes, you see here, international law works silently, right? Here, international law making continues unabated, as evident by the conclusion for free trade agreement, negotiations, right? And many other things like high seas treaty, right? Sustainability of marine biological diversity and pandemic agreement, which we talked about the vaccines and everything. Okay, over the years, hundreds of international courts at a global, such a international criminal court and regional levels. So these are for human rights, and also if there is any global crime that have been happened, like drug smuggling, okay, drug smuggling, weapon smuggling, and also even in the case of Gujarat that we saw, no, like major the diamonds that have been coming for all those polishing and cutting, so they are like kind of a like there is some problem in those diamonds, right? They are coming for the money laundering and everything, right? So these kind of organized and the global level crimes, for that also we have this global courts, right? International courts. So still they are being in the still they are existing and still they are working. Okay. So it is not like for just because of the silent action of UN. Okay. So for this alone, for the slowdown of UN alone, we cannot say the international laws will not work out. The international law will not be having any relevance. So that is not a point of the argument. Okay. So this article is talking about that only. Still international laws have a relevance. Okay. So that is the crux of this article. So here they have mentioned the wars and all. Okay. So what was the war that earlier it was happening? Okay. The US and Soviet Union. Okay. Soviet Afghan war, also Gulf war. Okay. And also Iraq, Syria, Libya. All these wars are been mentioned. So just have a go through about it, nothing else, nothing much in this. Okay. Moving on. Next one is about Prachand. So here in this helicopter, one best thing is about this helicopter is first helicopter, okay, where we will be having the landing and takeoff technology at the 5000 meters altitude. So the takeoff and the landing it is possible in very high altitude, even exceeding 5000 meters altitude. Okay, so that is a major thing, and it is never this is the first time, okay, in the world to have this higher altitude mechanism. Okay. So when we talk about this, it is light combat, very light in weight, okay, and easily it can be taken off and landing, and also it has very good retain power also. Okay. And apart from that, indigenously developed, where all other outer things have been indigenously designed and developed. But when it comes to the engine, it have been taken from France. Okay, we have collaborated with France and we got the engine for this Prachand helicopter. So that we have to keep in mind. And apart from that, multi-role like anti-armor. Okay, this is the role of it. And also they have the night attack capabilities also. We can take weapons in this helicopters. We can use them for the war. Okay. And apart from that, rescue also it is very easy. And also the major thing is about the stealth system. Stealth system is nothing but it cannot be captured in the radar. Okay. So that is a major feature of this. So just have a, eventually we will be getting a very detailed features and also the many other things we will be getting eventually about the Prachand. Okay. So this is the importance of Prachand. So see, if you see, we are developing a lot of missiles, right? And we are mostly focusing on the defense system right now, because the global trend is showing that if you don't have the power, okay, if you don't have the dominance, or if you don't have the defense system, it is very easy for other country to come and step into your autonomy, the strategic autonomy that we are talking in the recent times. It is very important for any of the country to very strong, okay, very powerful, at least to defend yourself, so that the other country will be taking a second thought to hit you and attack you, right? So even in many wars like the war with China and also the Kargil war. So all these are showing that how important it is for India to develop a strong defense system, because having a disputed borders and also having a disputed international borders and neighbors, it is important for us to carry on. Not See, we don't have the first attack policy, right? So we will be like, for self defense we will be counteract, but we will not be going and attacking in the first time, right? So keeping that in mind, we have two things are important here. One is about the Atmanirbhar, because it is indigenously developed. Okay, so Make in India's satisfied here. So we are showing the globe that we, even our defense system, our defense technology is booming. Even in budget we have allocated so much money in defense technology only. Okay, and also the second thing is about, one is Make in India, and second thing is about the global trends, which is showing it is important for us to be very strong when it comes to the defense system. Okay. So this is what majorly important, and just go through it, nothing much in this, but go to PIB. Okay, they have given the information for this. You can check out the features of this. Okay. Then when it comes to the anti-submarine capability, INS Anjad. So Anjad is a vessel. Okay, it has a huge vessel. Okay, where we have anti-submarine capability also. It works in the shallow water. Okay, shallow water in the sense, you know, like upper the surface level it will be there. Okay, and also it is the third vessel of indigenous craft. Okay, so we have we were about to build 8 ships, right? In that, third vessel is our INS Anjad. Okay, so if you see why it is Anjad, why it is have named as Anjad, the place near to Goa, okay, where the coast of Karwar is here, okay, near the Goa. Okay, it is very strategically important for us, and also to remember that, okay, the coast of Karwar, there is an island called Anjad. Okay, so this have been named after that only. Nothing much needed. Okay, so yes. Okay, so this is the third one. As Himanshu Singh mentioned, INS Arnola and also Androth. Okay, so apart from that, the major thing is about the features of it. Okay, first thing is the anti-submarine warfare. So if there is, it helps in our surveillance of our coastal areas, and to have a healthy and strong exclusive economic zones. For that, it is also very important for us, right? So the anti-submarine warship this is helpful for a surveillance and also to attack the enemy submarines. Okay, so the anti-submarines is just against the submarines. Okay, and apart from that, it is a fourth indigenous designed and built from it, the Atmanirbhar thing, right? So this is India's fourth indigenous we have designed here, and also we have built in India only. In the Prachand that we could able to see, we have collaborated with France, and we get the engine from France, right? But here everything is built from India only. Okay, design and also the building, everything happened in India only. Okay, so it is built in the coast of Chennai. Okay, the green, where it is. Okay, so the port of Chennai it have been commissioned. Okay, and it has been built by green research builders and engineers. It is not much needed. So just have a go through it. Okay, so talking about its features, it is a shallow water craft. Okay, and the vessel has the capability for detention, the tracking, and also neutralizing the enemy warfare. ठीक है. Then apart from that, the anti-submarine warfare weapons and sensor package. It has the weapons and the sensor package also. We can launch the rocket. Okay, and also we have coastal. It is important for us in the coastal surveillance and low intensity maritime operations and also search and rescue operations also. Okay, so for these three things it is important, search and rescue when it comes, yes, obviously it is called as a dolphin hunter and it have been mentioned in this article. You can just go through it. This also have been mentioned in the PIB. Okay, so please do read about please do read PIB in three terms. One is GDP series. They have given the complete datas and also the pie chart and bars. Okay, so for that please read the PIB and also for Prachand and this INS Anjad. Okay, then it is 77 meters long. It has high, like it goes around like 25 knots. Okay, it has a high water resistance, so it goes around like 25 knots speed. Okay, then apart from that, important is about the coat of forward, nothing else. So if you want to go through it, just go through the PIB. It has much details about it. Okay, for GDP series they have given lot of informations, and just go through it, and if you have any doubt please let us know. We will be having a detailed discussion on it. And that's it for the day. Okay, just go through it, the two features of Prachand and also INS Anjad and also the GDP series, the base year, and also what are all the changes that have been brought in. Okay. So thank you Himanshu and thank you everybody. So keep learning and keep reading things, and how much ever you are getting the knowledge, please try to share it with everybody so that your knowledge will be always growing. Okay. So I think there is no doubt from today's session, and if there is any doubt, please let me know. I'll be there to help you out. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.